My friend asked a really good question earlier, and I wanted to share the answer because I think it's a question that we all have and struggle with. But she asked something to the effect of, how do you get over the feeling of almost being freaked out when everything is going right and everything seems to be aligning for you and unfolding for you on your behalf? Because it's like we get so used to like chaos, calamity, and drama, don't we? That like when everything is going well, you were like, okay, where's the hidden camera? Like, what's the catch? Like, well, here comes the axe. Like, what's going on? And so Brene Brown calls that foreboding joy. And boy, is it ever. And, you know, she talks about the pitfalls of that is that we end up spending life dress rehearsing tragedy and just preparing ourselves for the worst. And we miss out on the present moment when like languid times are happening and the great times are happening. And so it's a little trick of the opponent to try to shit in our cereal any chance that, you know, the opponent gets. But that's the opponent's job. It's to challenge us to be able to see like all of our triggers and go to the root of those triggers and find out what it's really about, and then recognize it, and with compassion and understanding for yourself, be like, yeah, I could totally see how, you know, that moment was kind of galvanizing at the time, and my subconscious sort of wanted to protect me from that, you know, and it just became this pattern that started playing out in my operating system, you know, unbeknownst to me. And now that I do know, I can catch it when it happens, and I can just take a moment to pause. And then based on, you know, all the wherewithal we have now, we can make our decision of how we want to meet the moment at hand. How do you get over the feeling of the fear of everything going right suddenly? I think that is part of the exhilaration of life, and we just have to come to a place where we can enjoy it like adrenaline junkies. That's the vulnerability of it. It's such a big risk. It's like, wow, if I like let myself surrender to the peaks of joy, then inevitably I am at risk of feeling the depths of despair. And I think that we just have to accept that it's a 50-50 shot, you know, and maybe everything will go well. And, you know, that's the difference between fear and love and light and dark. And it's always the human condition. We're like pulled in these two different ways. Like the symbolism for theater is the two masks, the comedy and the tragedy. And we're always kind of being torn between the two. And yeah, and I think that you can also reframe yourself to understand that when you're afraid and when you're excited physically, like it's kind of all the same wash of like chemicals going through your body. It's like it feels the same in your stomach. It feels almost the same in your chest. There are subtle differences, but I think that if you feel fear, you can, like, excitement and fear feel the same way. And so if you're feeling fear, you can just tell yourself literally, like, you know what? This is excitement. I'm feeling excited about this. Wow, what an adventure amidst a stale like trail of like day after day of doldrum. Like this moment is reminding me of my mortality, and you're like, you know. So it's scary, but you can be like, okay, this is exhilarating. That's believable, and then eventually you'll convince yourself that this is exciting, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be like Evel Knievel. But yeah, so you kind of just have to embrace it. And yeah, I mean, I think the more we can accept that pain is a possibility, but we can try to let it pass through us and process it and digest it. And we don't have to force ourselves to suffer with it for longer than we need to let it do its work on us. And part of this is also the alchemy of spirituality. It's taking that lead and turning it to gold. It's taking that chaos and using that as fuel to shape potential in the moment. So when you feel that fear, use it as inspiration to double down on your own spiritual practice or your own like personal development, and get to the root of what's triggering you, reprogram that and like heal that. And then that pattern will begin to break because you're going to be more aware of it. And so you're going to be expanding your consciousness and up leveling. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the alchemy of like using the fear as fuel to shape your potential and use it to channel that fear into something productive for yourself or positive or good or something that builds, or shares with others. Don't internalize it into fear and let it eat you up. So that's the alchemy that you do. You take the fear and you use it as fuel and motivation to do an act of self-restraint or restriction, or overcoming your comfort zone, or extending, beyond yourself to share with someone else, or, maybe refraining from immediate self-gratification and sitting in a moment of discomfort so that you can observe it and have the full spectrum of human experience, and then take something away from it and embody it, and then it becomes this magical wisdom and opens up, a space for a miracle to happen. All right. Well, I think that was a good question, and yeah, that was really fun. I love doing the voice things because if I'm sitting here like right now in this like cute little sweatshirt I just got, but I'm like, I had worked last night, so I didn't get up exactly early, so I'm still not camera Elizabeth Taylor is not camera ready yet today, so you cannot see me. But yeah, I love the little voice things because then I can just do it in the moment. It's even faster than writing it out or typing it. I'm a slow typer. All right, y'all. Bye-bye.